Hello, world. It is what? Wednesday, the 4th of October, 2023. It's about 9:30 in the morning Central Standard Time as I film this. Remember, yeah, I'm a clairvoyant, clairaudient, psychic. Everything is for entertainment purposes only. The full disclaimer is down in the box, so you know the routine by now. Yeah, I guess because I complained on my last video about numbers dropping, it's back up to 491. So I guess who knows what's going on with Alphabet. It's like, yeah. So things are crazy. Yeah, yesterday I kind of just shut down off of all the electronic media that's bombarded with, and I had to go take care of a bunch of stuff that was necessary for me. Okay? And when I did get back home later in the afternoon, I mean, I took off out of the house at like 6:30 in the morning, and I got home about 4:30 or so, and I got back and I had like emails and all sorts of wacky stuff all over. I mean, stuff from different forms of communication on the computer. I'm just going, what the heck is going on? So yeah, lots of phone calls. Stuff is going to have to get taken care of, and it's so I may be this month. I said things are going to explode, and yesterday somebody lit the fuse. Especially for me personally, it's crazy. But as people know, I go through the headlines and go to all sorts of news sources, so I'm like looking at things. So I actually start taking notes after I finish my prior video uploads. So I'm just going to go in order of when I took the notes down. And yeah, it covers a lot of whacked stuff. I mean, one of the first things that I noticed was that the UN and everything has now approved for a group of guys from Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya, to go over to Haiti to try and get things straightened out on that island country. Well, yeah, they have people of the same complexion going over, but in Haiti they speak French, and they don't speak French in Kenya. I mean, Kenya was, I guess, originally a British colony, and then it went back and forth, but I've always known that the people from Kenya to be, I'm going to say, colorblind. As long as you've got a good character, everybody's treated pretty much the same. I mean, take a look at the movie Born Free. And yeah, back in early 70s, late 60s, early 70s, I don't know, I can't remember. It was, yeah, I went with my dad because he got, was asked to do a cargo flight, and we went from London to Nairobi, and we landed in Nairobi, and we had to spend the night because of hours being in the cockpit of a plane. And yes, cargo planes do have a little section in front that has passenger seats. So I was on the plane. We went down to Nairobi. We then landed and then had to spend the night. And yeah, I got to see a little bit. I mean, yeah, we stayed in a hotel, but we did go out to dinner, and my dad, we walked around for a little bit, and I saw it, and everybody was like, oh, who's this? And he goes, oh, we're picking up something for a certain zoo in the UK. So I brought, this is going to be a fun thing, and we did. We went to go see the animal that we would be transporting back from Nairobi to Heathrow Airport. And when we went to see the animal, my dad goes, we're flying back a full-grown male rhinoceros. Yes, it's like a, a real animal with the tusks and everything. They had managed to rescue a rhino that certain people were going to poach for the horn, but they rescued the rhino. The poachers, I don't know what happened to them. I was in single digits back then. But my dad said, yeah, he's a rescue, and they're bringing him now up to England so the rhino could live a happy life at one of the big zoos in the UK. And so the next morning when we all got up, yeah, you get dressed, go eat breakfast at the hotel, then we go to the airport, and the rhino was given lots of shots to make him sleep, and there was this giant net over him. And I guess we had already crossed the Mediterranean by then. And I'm sitting in the passenger compartment with the zookeeper people, and the park rangers. And the rhino started to wake up. And they were like, "Oh my gosh!" They're like, "We've got to drop altitude just in case he wakes up and breaks through the net, because with his horn and stuff, he could actually puncture the fuselage." But they did have enough. They still had the medicine to keep the rhino sleepy. So as soon as they saw him starting to wake up, they went back and kind of jabbed his haunches again and injected him with more medication to keep him sleepy and relaxed during the flight. But yes, when we did get to England, I was there. I got to watch them. It took a whole bunch of guys to they kind of woke up the rhino and got him, helped him off the cargo jet into the correct transport vehicle. And yeah, kind of cool. My only trip to Nairobi, Kenya, but it was to go with my dad to go pick up a rhinoceros. So I think that's kind of cool. But yeah, Kenya is now going to send some guys over to clean up Haiti. And all sorts of people are having kitten fits about it. But I keep getting, they're going over, and they're going to expose all the nastiness that Billy and Hilly are having going on over there. And the U.S. is having a fit because, we know that we've got a donkey admin happening, and Jim Crow Joe has to stay loyal to Billy and Hilly, and Barry and Billy don't want the nonsense that they're doing in Haiti exposed. But here they've got guys from Kenya going over there, and that's going to blow a lot of the stuff that they've been doing out of the water. It's going to expose everything, and they are scrambling. Okay. Now, the blue and yellow flag country, it's quite known that a lot of the guys that are of a certain age bracket, yeah, the Z guy wants to put them and make them basically battlefield fodder. Well, those guys are smart. Soon as they get up to the front, the white flags come out, and they go say hi to the guys from Vlad's club. And after they acclimate to being over in Vlad's country, a lot of them are dumping their old uniforms and putting on the new uniforms. So Z guy is running out of men to make his fodder. So now, excuse me, got to take this call. Okay, back. Important phone call. There's just, yeah, like I said, things are exploding, and that was a call dealing with it. Back where were we? Oh, yeah. The blue and yellow flag country, we know the guys are going over, switching outfits and working with Vlad. Well, now the Z guy wants women between the ages of between 18 and 60. Come on, dude. It ain't gonna fly. So expect a lot. And you know those mail order brides things? Expect not only the clickbait to be on those websites, but women all the way, all ages, who are legitimately want to get the heck out of that country. So the mail order bride companies are going to start making some serious chunks of change. Oh, so next thing on my list that I hit, that it's happening now in Sweden, and it's going to start happening in other countries. The Swedish government has now deployed the army to go clean up some of these, what they call a no-go zone, because these neighborhoods get filled with these refugees. Well, I guess so many incidents have happened that now the army's going in to straighten out and boot out these idiots, and to crack down on the violence against people who don't pray 5 times a day. And even now, it's like New York's Governor Ho is saying no more wetbacks. Why? Because somebody was in a nice area and a couple women were attacked. Young girls are being attacked in New York. It's happening here in Illinois. Yeah, I mean, they tried to trash the CPD, saying that, some poor migrant girl was assaulted because she was sleeping in the lobby of one of the PD stations. No, she was a setup. And they kind of did their little investigation and found it was all a crock of crap. So, and don't get me started on baboon right now. Now, we, just no brain Trudeau up in Canada. Oh my gosh. He's now trying to put out and force every online streaming service now has to register with the Canadian government. And the Canadian government now can control who can watch what on each streaming service. Talk about fascist control. If a streaming service doesn't abide by the doctrine of just no brain Trudeau, they can't broadcast material. And everybody who logs into that streaming service, who they are, what their IP address is, and what they're watching is now going to be reported to the government. Yeah, I guess VPNs are going to be super. If you don't have one, get one. Now, okay. What has hit the fan massively big time, and it's worldwide news, is that yesterday morning, Kevin McCarthy was Speaker of the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C. Well, Matt Gaetz, who I've always gotten an icky feeling about, basically is got 8 rhinos together along with all the donkeys, and they got Kevin McCarthy booted from his position as Speaker of the House. And there's a lot of stuff hitting the fan. I think these 9 guys, Matt Gaetz and the 8 others, are they getting a kickback from the Biden family? I would start looking into their financials really fast. Because why else would they decide to get rid of McCarthy and side with the donkeys? there's all gonna be tentacles traced to the JoJo and Cammy Poo show. They're also going to be interwoven and traced back to a bank account from Hunter or the CCP. Right now we've got a interim speaker, Patrick McHenry. As soon as I finish this video, I'm going to start doing some digging on him. But it's basically a stopgap because November 17th is when they have to vote again to keep the government happening here in the States. And a lot of people are upset because there's no money for the southern border, but lots of money for the blue and yellow flag country. Well, what people aren't realizing is that if the government shuts down, then the government people overseeing the southern border aren't working, and it could be a free-for-all down there. But instead, the residents and guys who know what they're doing, they'll go down and defend our southern border. The heck with, so if the government isn't going to do it, people are going to do it themselves. And if that happens, when it happens, you will see people running southbound when they see what they're up against. They will not cross the Rio Grande. Yeah, and it's going to be crazy in Washington right now because everybody's scrambling for position. I mean, we had Finkstein die in office, and then Gruesome Newsom used the Rahm Emanuel trick of just a property owner being put into office. And it was funny when I was watching the vote count to kick out Kevin. The one vote I actually heard was Dumbo Delia. I'm like, that chick shouldn't even be in Congress. Because her mother made sure that she was like ready to pop to make sure that Delia was an anchor baby born. She wasn't conceived in the United States. But her mother was several months along and dropped her here in the States. Anchor baby Delia. Yeah, big time. And it's kind of ironic that all the stuff dealing with kicking out Kevin is like to hog up the airtime so people don't realize that with Donnie's trial, more than 80% got kicked out for statute of limitations. And plus, he's got a freaking, in my opinion, a donkey judge. So his trial is playing out like a bad episode of Boston Legal. I mean, I can't remember the name of the episode, but it's like James Spader was going up against this judge who was actually too old to be working. He actually thought he was a bird and he was sitting on a bird's nest in his seat. He thought he was going to hatch eggs. So yeah, this Donnie stuff, it's a bad episode from Boston Legal happening in NYC. Now, the other thing that I thought was really, really whacked that was happening also to take people's focus off of what was happening on the Capitol, on the Hill, and in the New York City courtrooms was all of a sudden something was happening at Morgan State University located in Baltimore. Go listen to the song. I think it's called I Hate Mondays. I Don't Like Mondays. Well, something similar to that started happening out of a dorm room window. You know, like what happened in Vegas with a guy who took out the window at one of the hotels. And he was focusing on people at a country what CW concert, a concert, free concert. So yeah, I'm guessing that guy was he was a patsy, just like Lee Harvey Oswald. He was told to do that he was a distraction. So you've got three major things to fill up the news cycle. So I am going to start poking around to find out what else is what are they hiding? To have three monster things happening at once. Something stinking in Denmark. And we've got to find out what the real reason for all these smoke screens. And a few other things that I am finding is that, okay, we know in Iran, the mullahs, basically, if someone's seen without a hijab, the mullahs are going to take them, beat the daylights out of the woman. And, well, right now, there's a 16-year-old in a coma. She was a teenager, a young girl. But according to the guys who pray 5 times a day, soon as a female starts her lunar cycle, she has to cover her hair. Well, yeah, they're really extreme over there, and women worldwide have to stand up and say no more hijabs. And yesterday, yeah, I had to go to a government office to take care of something. And as luck would have it, the caseworker that I had to deal with was dressed completely in an abaya-style dress, wearing a stupid disposable mask. Of course, I blew it. I said, no, I do not want to deal with her because I am offended by her on a lot of grounds. And the chickie pooth who was head of the office, well, you're scaring me. I go, no, she's giving me PTSD. There's separation of church and state, and there's no reason for her to be dressed like this in this office. She is blatantly infringing her religious edicts onto me. I'm like, no way. I will not. I mean, I caused a fuss, and I spoke strongly, but I didn't scream. If people want to hear me scream, you're going to hear me at least 200 yards. Because I've been classically trained and I can project my voice long and loud and hard. No, I am not going to deal with this. And I said, you give me the next caseworker or I will call and file a complaint for discrimination. And I can do it because I can prove the certain facts. So yeah, it's like we've got to really, here in every westernized country, we have to fight to eliminate the abaya style of dress on any woman. Separation of church and state. If you're dressing to satisfy somebody in your faith, do it on your own time, not when you work for a government agency or in a school. Those are government offices, those state offices. Separation, church and state. If you're working for the state in any way, no abayas. Got it? Now, something else now they're trying to do because the platform, yeah, we all saw Fiona with the new TNCs. I guess Elon, when he started to buy up stock in a certain company, he had bought 5%. Well, according to the Security and Exchange Commission, if a person buys 5% or more of a specific stock, they have to make it public knowledge. You've got 10 days to do it. Well, they say he put it out on the 11th day. Dudes, there's a weekend in there. Sometimes, okay, 10 business days, not 10 calendar. Maybe he was going by 10 business days, Monday through Friday. But these yahoos are going to say it was 10 calendar days. Okay, what is it? Is it 10 business days or 10 calendar days? Well, they're trying to pull the calendar day ruse on Elon because he's not putting up with a lot of nonsense. Okay? It's just like, they're going after Elon. Like now in the UK, they went after Russell Brand because he was making his opinions known. Now I guess their next victim is Lawrence Fox. He's the next person that the UK government is going after. I mean, my dad told me, like, ever since, once they voted in the NHS in the UK became a socialist government. So people have been living under a socialist government of the UK since the 1950s, since the time that the National Health Service was instituted. So, and now people are finding out how nasty living under socialism is. It's time to change your members of parliament. Stand up and, hey, you might have to do KC3. I mean, it's not like he's going to go the way KC1 did, but they may have to reinvent a new Cromwell to straighten out the frickin' mess that the UK is living under. And ditch that Rishi guy. Somebody has to come in as the 2023 version of Cromwell. Who is that going to be? Now, speaking of switching up governments, they're trying to, we've got impeachment hearings happening here to get rid of JoJo. Well, now some clown is saying, oh, well, you can't do this or that because they have found emails that were from Hunter and that energy company over in the blue and yellow flag country, Burisma, where emails that were sent to one of the minions of the Biden crime family. But in these emails, if it was sent to Hunter or his minions, JoJo was always had a special email address. JoJo was always CC'd, copied, or blind copied on all these emails. So yeah, he was messed up with his kids' business crap to make money. Now, it's comical. So yeah, I've got to cut this short now because that phone call that came in gave me some info that when it's over and done with I can talk about, but it deals with a job situation from ages ago before I was it's just bull poop. It's just crazy. It's somebody that's still kind of it's still the nuclear fallout, late-term fallout from when I decided to make changes in the film industry for the betterment of women. And it's all tangled up together. So, yeah, one day I will be able to tell the whole story on video. I mean, tell the truth and people see how rotten certain people are. But at this time I can't. But I will. So, okay, everybody, I'll have my next video up on the 6th. I hope everybody has a great Wednesday, hump day. So, I'll be talking to you later. Bye-bye.